told me I should fight back. They don't like that. Just know if you rock the boat, you better have a life raft. Woo!
What up, everybody in the YTBC? I'm going to prefix this video by saying that I think that God does not care about sports. That does include combat sports. I just think that, you know, if you believe in a higher power, I just don't think that a higher power who created the universe is really all that bothered with sports. If you don't, and by the way, if you don't believe in a higher power, that is perfectly fine. I actually try to keep religion or spirituality or however you want to label it. I try to keep that out of boxing talk because of that fact, because I believe that God does not care about sports. And I do believe that certain people may have his favor, you know, and that's between, you know, that has to do with their relationship with God. If you don't believe in God, like I said, that's fine. This may not be the video for you, so I totally understand if you don't listen to this video, if you're an atheist or whatever, because my channel is not really about religion or spirituality. It's just about boxing. Boxing is a hobby for me, and this is just an outlet that I see for boxing. Okay, so I don't take offense to anybody who gets off of this video, but you're more than welcome to stay even if you don't believe in a higher power. So let me go ahead and just get into the topic, you know, now that I've said all of that. So I actually wasn't even going to talk about this just because I don't believe that God cares. Essentially, God is more worried about righteousness. He doesn't care who wins a boxing match. He obviously, if God is love, he cares about the individuals involved, but he's not really all that bothered with the outcome. And but I've been seeing this comment, and it's funny because this comment I've been seeing is almost word for word on multiple videos by different commenters. And one of these was actually commented on my Making a Coon Andre Ward video. And basically what this comment is saying, I'm just going to paraphrase it. It goes somewhere along the lines of, you are the seed of your father. And Andre Ward, he is of Esau, and Wilder is of Jacob. Now, for those of you who don't believe in the Bible, but you still decided to stay, essentially, in the Bible, Jacob is considered the side of righteousness and Esau is not. They are brothers and they are adversaries, essentially. So, this was commented on my video, and I responded to the individual asking them, how do you know it's not the other way around? Their response was simply, do your research. That kind of bugged me because I'm like, okay, you're saying something that I disagree with, but I want to hear you out. One of the things that came to mind is because the first thing they start off with, you are the seed of your father, and they're saying that Andre Ward is evil and his father is white. I was getting the feeling that where they were getting at is that all white people are evil, but I didn't want to go off of that presumption. I wanted to hear him out and see if that's where he was coming from or if it was a misunderstanding. And when I told him, you know, I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from, he's like, it's in the scriptures. So I'm like, all right, you know, I don't like to bring Bible into it, but you insist on doing that. So I go ahead and I let him know, well, the Bible, you know, you're saying that the proof is there in the scriptures, but Andre Ward is not mentioned in the Bible, and neither is Deontay Wilder. I'm just trying to get some more context from you. So he kept on tiptoeing around the whole thing. I eventually kind of got tired of it, of going the back and forth and going nowhere. So I decided to go ahead and move forward with the conversation by saying, well, if you're saying that it's in the Bible, and that if I do my research, does the Bible not say that you will know a man by the fruit that he bears? And does it not also say that the power of life and death is in the tongue? You have a man here who you're saying is on the path of righteousness, but yet this is a man who shows signs of selling his soul, which is debatable. You know, that's not one of those things that is really cut and dry. But he did also say that he would like to catch a body by the end of his career, saying that he would like to murder somebody, essentially. That is not debatable. He did say that. And also mentioning that he would like to know what it's like to bear children, which is transgenderism or gender bending, which the Bible also speaks out against. I told him, so given these facts, why would you say that this is the man who is of righteousness, and that the other man who is actually a professing Christian, who is, you know, maybe the only thing that you could probably apply to him is because he did business with Jay-Z, and Jay-Z is also known for being involved with that stuff, but that's something that is not really proven. You know, that's something that you know, you can either believe or not believe. But other than that, you really can't take a look at anything involving Andre Ward and really say that he's doing anything anywhere near the level of Deontay Wilder. His response essentially was, well, I don't agree with what Deontay Wilder said, but I look at a man's character, and really just kind of ignoring the facts. And I let him know again, the Bible still, that doesn't, you know, whether you agree with what he said or not, the very Bible that you brought up still says that the power of life and death is in the tongue. And this man still said that he would like to catch a body. He went on to say, well, you know, we praise other fighters like Keith Thurman, who says he wants to knock out all of his opponents. And I told him, you know that that's not the same thing. In fact, if we're quoting Keith Thurman, he has literally said that he calls it the 10 seconds of pain. He wants the guy to stay down just long enough for him to get the knockout win. But at the end of the night, he still wants the man to be able to go home to his family and live his life. That is very different from what Deontay Wilder said. And I ended the conversation with this, and he never responded. The very same Bible that he was bringing up is that it has a scripture that says, woe to those who say that evil is good and good is evil. You can't just turn your eye just because of your fandom toward this man. Here's the thing, I don't think God cares if you're a fan of Deontay Wilder, despite the fact that he has said these terrible things. But you can't compromise what you believe in just for the sake of Deontay Wilder, because then that just shows, well, your faith is just nothing to you. The whole reason why I'm talking about this, and this kind of brings it back to a level that doesn't involve spirituality, religion, like I said, however you would like to label it, is that if you're going to be a fan, just be honest with yourself and everybody else. Stop trying to justify your fandom and try to make it seem like you're taking the high road, because you're not. Deontay Wilder, along with Andre Ward, they were never civil rights leaders. They were never... There's nothing that they have ever done, and I'm not going to say ever will do, because things can change. But as of right now, they've done nothing that has furthered the black community as far as getting more rights. Yes, they speak their mind on the subject, but you can't compare these guys to somebody like a Martin Luther King. who literally died for civil rights. You can't compare these guys to Jack Johnson, who, despite the odds, became heavyweight champion of the world, even though he lived in a country who would not allow it. He found a way. You can't compare these guys. So stop it. Because at the end of the day, you just look like a fool when you do this. Just be honest. It's sports, okay? The only thing you're going to get out of it is if you place a bet and you win that bet. But other than that, these guys really aren't doing anything for you. They don't know that you exist. Stop telling people that they're sellouts and coons and all this stuff just because their opinion differs from yours. And yes, that even includes what he said about Deontay Wilder not wanting the rematch. That's his opinion. Because really, at the end of the day, the only one who knows what's in Deontay Wilder's mind, what's in his heart, is Deontay Wilder. Just because he says that he wants the rematch next does not mean that that's necessarily true. We've seen a lot of fighters say that they want to fight so-and-so next. And really, behind the scenes, they don't want it. In their heart, they don't want it. So stop using the fact that Deontay Wilder, because he said, it's not gospel. Deontay Wilder has lied plenty of times. I could tell you one right now, having nothing to do with negotiations or anything like that. When they asked him if Triple G should fight Canelo, he said, well, I'm a warrior. I have a warrior mentality. I would do it. That's a lie. Because he had a very similar situation with Povetkin. And when that happened, he wasted no time getting out of Russia. So that was a lie. So don't act like Deontay Wilder never lies. Because that wasn't even hard for me to think of. Easy, right off the top of my head. And I'm not even the sharpest guy here on YouTube. But all I'm saying is that you need to be real. If you're making excuses and compromising your beliefs, whatever they may be, whether it has to do with Christianity or not Christianity, just faith in general, or if it has to do with your political stances, whatever it may be, don't compromise that just because you're a fan of a man. Because then you get situations where later on down the line, the very man that you looked up to, you're now calling a coon. You're now calling a sellout. Well, what happened years ago with Floyd Mayweather? I've seen people compare Floyd Mayweather to Jack Johnson, and that was just not even a comparison. That's a disservice to Jack Johnson, because Jack Johnson, when it comes to what he had to do in his struggles, was way more than Floyd Mayweather ever had to face. He literally had to face a country who hated him. What Floyd Mayweather got wasn't a country that hated him. He got criticism, but that criticism didn't stop him from making the money that he wanted to make. It didn't stop him from getting the opportunities that he wanted to get, like Jack Johnson. So stop it. Now you're criticizing Andre Ward, who was another one that you made in your mind. You made him out something to be something that he's not. And now today you're calling him a coon. And the same thing will happen with Deontay Wilder. Mark my words, once he retires, the second that he criticizes the next big black fighter, he will be labeled a coon. He will be labeled a sellout. And then you're going to have a bunch of people who are going to say, well, we didn't actually think he beat Tyson Fury, we know he beat the count. We were just saying that because we were rolling with him, but now he's showing his true colors. No, he. It's not that he's showing his true colors now. It's that you made him out to be something that he is not. Be real with yourselves. Stop making yourselves look like fools. Stop compromising your beliefs, whether it be religious or political or otherwise, for these men who don't give a damn about you. That's real talk. To all my subscribers, anybody who watches my videos, or if you just so happen to stumble upon this video, I hope you all have a wonderful and blessed day. Peace.
Undefeated.